flipping skip, flipping wall, this flipping house, flipping archway, flipping trees. Have I gone flipping mad? No, I haven't. Today's YouTube is all about flipping properties. What does that mean? You buy a property that's run down and needs work, you do the work for it, you then sell it and make a profit. That's what property flipping's all about. You've watched me over the last few years doing lots of videos about property investing. I like to hold the properties that I do because I want the passive income. And I've never sort of talked to you about flipping. Flipping is useful as a tool. It isn't my main strategy. So I like holding properties for long-term passive income. I don't want to work, so I want money to just hit my bank. However, there are some property deals that aren't sensible to hold, that you're much better off flipping. So take this property, for example. Bought it for 200,000 and it's a huge big 4-bed property. We're not going to hold it because the end value doesn't support the rental in the area, and that's important. You need a high rent to be able to raise the mortgage. So we're not going to keep this one, we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it and we're going to make about 170,000. Now I can take that 170,000 out and I can just go and buy 3 more buy-to-lets and put a deposit in each. So that's the beauty of flipping. Now a lot of people start property investing by flipping properties. So they flip a few properties, get a good chunk of money, and then they start to do a buy, refurbish, refinance. So instead of buy, refurbish, sell, it's buy, refurbish, refinance and hold, pop the tenant in there and the tenant pays you rent. But today I want to talk to you about flipping, and we're going to go over the 4 tips you need to do to flip successfully. Tip number 1, you need to find below market value properties, preferably off market. So this property that I'm at today was off market. The person knew me, knew that I buy property, and said, look, it's not on the market yet, do you want to buy it? It's been empty for years, I've not lived in it, a bit run down, what do you think? I was like, hello, yes, I want that house. So came to view it and agreed a deal. So we agreed below market value, so then I've got the width to be able to add lots of value. But number 1, you have to be good at finding them below market value and preferably off market, especially in today's market where, you know, the average property's got 7, 8, 9 buyers going for it. You want it off market where you can do the deal direct to the vendor and negotiate a great price. So the second tip you need is you need to learn how to fund them, because not a lot of people have got the cash in the bank to be able to buy something like this. I didn't have £200,000 in the bank to buy something like this. So you need to get good at funding these deals, and you can fund them with something we call joint venture finance, where you lend money from private individuals. So a private individual has lent me the money to buy this house and to refurb it. We talk about this to our students a lot, and we get them good at being able to do the compliance for raising money, how to raise money, the pitch, negotiation, where to find these private individuals that have got all this money sat in the bank, and why aren't they doing it themselves? So we teach all of that, but you need to get good at funding projects. I always say you need 2 things in property: how to find the deal and how to fund the deal. So you need to get good at those. So tip number 3 is the refurbishment. So many people get into trouble with this. When you found a property project, you buy it, you start to refurb, and all of a sudden that refurb budget goes up, 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 up. Now I'm laughing because I have done this so many times and got into trouble with it, where I thought one thing and then it's ended up another. So you need to get good at working out the refurb budget and keeping your builder on track with that budget. What you don't want is your builder to go over time and over budget. So you need to learn how to refurbish your property properly, how to work with your builder, how to price it, and how to keep it on track. 2 tips from me: always sign a contract with your builder and always do stage payments. I mean, there's nothing worse if you give the builder all the money up front, they start to do the job, disappear into the sunset, it's not done and you've lost a load of money, because that would be awkward, wouldn't it? My top tip number 4 is how you prep the property to sell it. So it's all well and good buying the property, refurbing it, you need to get people interested. So you want to be putting it on Rightmove and Zoopla. You don't need to use an expensive agent, you can use an online agent, but you want to make sure you do viewing 7 days a week. That's so important for people that are going to buy the property. You want to make sure you stage the property. So we put furniture in ours to stage it, to show the potential buyer what it's going to look like when they live here. Like this one, it's a huge big 5-bed family house for 1-bed annex. You know, we're spending a lot of money money on interior designers so we get the look right. We're going to stage it. We'll have professional photos done. Then when it comes to the viewing, we'll be viewing every day of the week. Because I don't know about you, I hate it when I ring an estate agent and they don't do a Sunday viewing. I'm busy. I work all the time, or they won't do an evening viewing. So that's my top tips. Have an idea in your head. Make sure you stage it. Now, staging can cost you between £1,000 to £2,000, but it's money well spent in the bank because it means an extra 10 grand later on. Because what you want is a couple of people bidding for your property and you get the max amount to sell. And my fifth tip, which is my bonus tip, is to get a property mentor. A property mentor will be unbiased because sometimes it's hard as a property investor, and again, I do this all the time. I fall in love with the properties that I'm doing. I forget that I'm not going to live there, you know, and I don't make the best judgment call. When I sit down with my property mentor, they're unbiased. They'll look at the floor plan and show me the best way to lay it out. You know, they'll be that person that can help guide you to get the max possible profit from your flips, or challenge you about holding the property and keeping it if you should do. But that's my tips. Now we're going to be following this journey for this one. So this one should complete around next April next year. So we'll be following you and showing you all the footage as we do it. Obviously right now today we're just at rip out stage. As you can see, all the rubbish around me, it's going in the skip, but we're ripping it out ready for the trades to get started, which is exciting. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. We've talked about holding property long term and when it's appropriate to flip property, and that sometimes beginners start flipping property so they can build up money to start holding property long term. Here's my newest flip in Doncaster in Blackstone, and I can't wait to show you what it's going to look like over the next month. If you haven't already, subscribe because you won't want to miss out my next updates on this property. Like the video and give me a comment. Tell me about when you flipped or your top tips for flipping, and I'll see you next time.